my actual eyesight is there's a high drive, deep center, go, 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 we're out of here, say ya, playa.
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood, Caladros, the 3-2, swing and a miss, and the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons, and this is it for good. The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four. A dog pile on their side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
Welcome to coverage of the first round of the Burlington County Tournament right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. For the first time ever in any sport, we are here at Cherokee High School in Marlton, part of the Lenape Valley School District, for coverage of the Bordentown Scotties and the Cherokee Chiefs right here on DWB. I'm Dan Wilkins with my producer Vincent Folk this afternoon. Second day in a row we've had early starts. We had Audubon and Woodbury yesterday, same time, 4 o'clock. Hey, it's good for me because I get to go home early, but who cares? We've got some good matchups in the Burlington County Tournament all this week, but we're focusing on this one between Bordentown and Cherokee as we get ready to wrap up this regular season in 2024. Don't forget, tomorrow we show up to Gloucester Catholic at 11:30 a.m. for coverage versus the Woodstown Wolverine in Tri-County Classic Division action. As these guys get ready to go, as they get ready for their pregame ceremonies, these two teams look very similar on paper, but might not be the same as you see. Bordentown is second in the Burlington County Patriot Division, but they are only one of two teams with an above 500 record. Pennsauken and Northern Burlington, Doane Academy, and Burlington City are all well below 500. It's just a dogfight between them and Burlington Township. For the Olympic American Conference, it's one of the most heavily contested conference divisions in all of South Jersey, outside of maybe the Cape Atlantic National. But for these guys, Cherokee doesn't care that they're third in division. They're going to try to make a deep run in this first round. The only two teams that have advanced so far are Shawnee and Morristown, and these guys are going to try to make a fight in the first round in the auxiliary gym of Cherokee High School, as these guys will also have a wrestling match over in the main gym. So we're here in Gym B, if you will, for Bordentown and Cherokee.
Good afternoon and welcome to Cherokee High School, your host for today's matchup between the Bordentown Scotties and the Cherokee Chiefs. At this time, please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, here you go. There's our starting five for tonight. For Bordentown, Max Martin, Elijah Florence, Uman Choi, Andrew DaCosta, and Miles Hansford, led by Steve Perry. And for the Chiefs, it's going to be Will Carr, Dan Leonard, Jared Bell, Judd Holt, and Louis Galasso. Cherokee going into this one this afternoon at a 12-8 record. Bordentown has played 2 further games, but they have the same number of L's in their column with a 10-8 record. As we said, still in a lone second place spot in their BCSL Patriot division, and only one of 2 teams that are above 500 at all in that 6-team gauntlet. Cherokee on the left side of your screen with the orange jerseys, white accents. Bordentown on the right side of your screen with the white jerseys and yellow accents. 32 minutes of South Jersey basketball in the first round of the Burlington County Tournament is speared down by the Chiefs. And we are underway, wasting no time driving to the basket from the baseline. It's no good. Second chance by Cherokee. It'll go out of bounds. Last touch by Dan Leonard, and that'll be... Looks like Cherokee will retain possession. Right under their own basket with Judd Holt inbounding. Passes it to the right. Off the glass and good, and we've got our first points of the night, courtesy of Dan Leonard. Only took us 15 seconds, but they took care of it. And Bordentown will take this down the floor for the first time this afternoon. With a nice crowd on hand here at the Cherokee Middle Gym, I know for a Group 4 school of 2,200 students, this seems a little small, but this is their auxiliary gym. As Choi passes it up from the elbow, no good. Rebounded by Leonard. But this is their auxiliary gym. They're having a wrestling match tonight in the main attraction, if you will. And of course, with this game being scheduled, a couple of days ago, maybe 72 hours ago, they kind of had to make alternate arrangements, so that they could make this game happen at Cherokee's home court, if you will. 5-0 Cherokee after a corner 3 by the orange and white, with a minute and a half elapsed in this first quarter. Brings it out to Miles Hansford. Passed out to Choi. Uman Choi passes it back out. Bordentown setting up a good play here. Double traffic. Ball is bobbled. They're going to hang on to it. And they'll have to force them to go back to the drawing board. Choi from 3, no good. Rebound on the offense. That one is short. They'll go for a third chance. This time it goes. Courtesy of Elijah Florence, and it's 5-2. This is the first time these two teams have squared off against each other since 2020, a game that Cherokee won by 13. But remember, these two teams, despite being in the same conference, are pretty far apart from each other. They're pretty far apart in terms of distance. I mean, Bordentown from here is about a 40-minute drive, as that's a turnover. From the guard, Will Carr. Choi passes it back out from 3. That's good to tie the game. From number 24, Andrew DaCosta. It's 5-5. Well, Burlington County is the largest county in terms of land area. In terms of land mass, Hamilton is almost considered Burlington County. And you've got Marlton, and then you've got all the way up into Florence and the Burlington areas, Mansfield. Burlington County extends pretty far, so this is going to be an interesting tournament just in terms of how many teams from how many different areas of this state are being represented. And we've got a foul on on Bordentown. Judd Holt, the leading scorer for this Chiefs team, he will go to the line for the first foul of the evening. That one goes. Cherokee takes a 6-5 lead, 4:52 to play in the first, right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Second free throw, quick release, and it goes, 7-5. Judd Holt again with 250 points on this season. He is the leading scorer by far on this Cherokee squad. But again, the starting 5 that you see here have pretty much been the dominant force all year. And look, last year the Olympic American Division was one where not a single team, including Cherry Hill East, all of them, Lenape, Eastern, Cherokee, Cherry Hill East, and Rancocas Valley, all of them were above 500, even if only by a game or two. Driven down the floor by Holt. Holt looks for a pass, brings it out from 3. Now back to the inside lane. He is blocked. Second chance, no good. He's denied again, and now a foul. Well, you can only get so many opportunities in that realm before you're denied, and you either have to go the other way or you have to shoot from the line. So this time it will be number 22, Louis Galasso, who drills his first. Cherokee is 3 for 3 from the charity stripe this afternoon. Don't forget, again, we'll be in Gloucester City tomorrow for coverage of the Woodstown Wolverines and the Gloucester Catholic Rams on DWB. 11:30 a.m. is the tip-off. 9-5, Cherokee an even 4 for 4 from the line so far tonight. Choi looks for his man, brings it out to Florence. A spin move by number 3, Max Martin, the guard. 3 ball good, Elijah Florence. Andrew DaCosta, check that. Inbounded by Jared Bell, goes up to Holt. As Bordentown has made this interesting in the first quarter, I think this was a really uncharted waters here as Bordentown gets a hand on that one, keeps this a 1-point game after the threat from inside. From the corner 3, no good, high off the back of the rim. That one goes to Will Carr, wasting no time driving this one on the one-hander. Can't get it, and it's a turnover. Bordentown's got it again. Goes back to DaCosta. Now Choi for 3, no good, a little long. Rebound, Jared Bell. 3 minutes to play in the first. Holt brings it up for the Cherokee Chiefs. But right now, the Olympic American Division is basically the same as it was last year. You've got Lenape and Eastern, perennial powerhouses in that division. But at the same time, the only team that's below 500 right now at 8-13 is Cherry Hill East. And even then, just 1 year ago, they were a couple games above that mark. As that'll be 3 fouls in the quarter for Bordentown, and we're going to have our 5th and 6th 3 throws of the early portion of this game, this time from Judd Holt. First one goes, 5 for 5 tonight. It's 10-8. Remember, new rule this year for boys and girls basketball is that 5 fouls in a quarter bring you to the charity stripe for 2. Used to be 7 fouls and a half would get you 1-1, and then 10 fouls and a half would be the official bonus. But it doesn't really make sense for a game that uses quarters to also apply that rule, to use the same rule that the NCAA has, which plays their college basketball in halves. In that case, it would make more sense for you to have 7 fouls and a half, bringing it to the line, but DaCosta misses. And it's a rebound by number 22, Louis Galasso. That's going to be a foul, and it will be on Cherokee. First foul of the game against the Chiefs. Galasso not really pleased with himself on that one, but they'll turn the ball over, and they'll mark it down as a learning lesson as Choi will bring this up, wasting no time. Bringing it out to Hansford. Back to DaCosta, cuts to the right from the paint. He's got it on a couple hops. 11-10. Judd Holt with 3 men beyond half court for Bordentown, getting an early press on. And they're going to try to force a turnover. Does he keep it in? Yes, he does. Choi has the breakaway. And I'd say that'd be worth 3 points, but we are not in football, so that'll be a kicked ball violation. Bordentown retains the possession after a bit of a frenzy there. That's a good job, though, on the press. There's a difference between a well-executed press and a poorly executed press where you're just leaving holes open in the offense for them to get easy points. And that's exactly a place where Bordentown was spaced out perfectly to where they were able to pressure the defense without leaving open a wide open gap for the offense to get an easy bucket in the lane or from mid-range, whatever you want to call it. Jared Bell getting a nice press here from Choi. Back to Holt. In double trouble. Deflects now from 3. No good. A little short. Offensive board from Holt. Holt looks for an opportunity. Can't get it. And who got the last touch on that one? It looks like it will be Cherokee ball. Checking into the game for the Chiefs, taking out Luis Galasso, is number 4, that being Brian McGee, the senior. Judd Holt this year, 224 points. He is the second leading scorer on this team, right behind Luis Galasso, the sophomore, at 252, averaging 25 points as a sophomore across 20 games played this year. Will Carr at 195, and not that many. In fact, they are the only 3 above the 100-point mark on this season. He heaves it out beyond the 3-point line to McGee. Back to Bell, guarded by Choi to his left. Finds Holt up the middle from the elbow. No good. It's been a back and forth first quarter with a lot of groans from the audience with about 30 seconds left to play. But Bordentown has been really nice from 3. They've been really nice from all ends of the floor. They've been playing good defense and good offense, and that's what wins ball games, honestly. But they're playing really good right now versus a school that's bigger than them, versus a school that's more well-rounded than them, has more wins than them. But Bordentown is showing right now, especially for Steve Perry and his guys, that does not matter. Doesn't matter how many guys you have on that bench. They're going to make sure they give you a fight for all 32 minutes. 5 seconds to play. Holt from 3. Shot is short. And that hit the bar on top of the backboard, so that will stop play with 2.5 remaining. They'll have time for one play as we'll see what they can get here. Choi from deep, no good. A low-scoring first quarter, but both teams, eclipse double digits. 11-10 after 1. We'll be right back here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting with 3 more quarters of Bordentown and Cherokee in the first round of the Burlington County Tournament. We'll be right back. At the end of the first quarter, it is 11-10 in favor of Cherokee. Let's take a look at that Burlington County bracket that you see on the bottom of your screen right now. I mean, you know, right now, as we said, Burlington County is a big county. It's the biggest one by landmass in South Jersey. And the only 2 teams that have clinched and have already played their first-round games, as there are no byes in the Burlington County tournament, are Shawnee and Morristown. As we'll take that away. We'll talk about that in just a second as Bordentown brings it up the floor to start here. But Shawnee beat West Hampton Tech on Monday the 22nd, 56-40. I mean, West Tech is not a bad team by any means this year. They have played a really tough schedule for a Tech school, and BCIT Medford, they've put up some really good fights against some Group 1 or 2 schools like KIPP and MedTech, Cinnaminson. That's a rebound by number 33 for Cherokee. That pass is headed for the second row, and that'll be a turnover. Dan Leonard, last touch on that one. But the other game that happened on Monday the 29th was Seneca beating Morristown beating Seneca 49-36. The other games going on, in fact, the first round doesn't actually end until February 10th when Lenape plays Delran. That's a 1 versus 16 as that one bricks. Cinnaminson plays Holy Cross Prep today at 5 p.m. RV plays Florence in a 3 versus 14. Bordentown plays Cherokee, the game you're watching right now, and that is going to go the other way. I thought that was going to be called a block, and it exactly was. The two other games that we haven't mentioned yet are 7 Burlington Township versus 10 Pemberton, and number 15 Doane Academy versus number 2 Medford Tech. Holt over to Galasso. Holt not happy about that call, but I'll go the other way. Bordentown brings it up the floor. Getting it to Mild Hansford, the guard. All starting 5 on the floor here with the exception of Choi. For the Scotties. Not named after Scotland, but named after the Scotty dog, as you can see in that logo on the bottom left of your screen, and that'll be a walk. He'll take a walk and he'll take a turnover. Still no points in the first 2 minutes of this second quarter. So we're moving along nicely here at the Cherokee Middle Gym in Marlton. Of course, if you know any family or friends that can't make the game tonight, make sure to send us this link. Make sure to send them this link on YouTube, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We do South Jersey independent broadcasts of high school, collegiate, and amateur sports all year round. Baseball starts in just under 60 days, but if you know anybody who would like to watch the game, whether live or afterwards, make sure you send them this link, and if you like what you see, you can hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We're about 17 subscribers away from the 1,500 mark, so your support is greatly appreciated for an independent, small-run South Jersey sports media business right here in your backyard. There's a 3. That'll be a little long, as that one is picked up by McGee. McGee chucks it into the corner. Holt's going to look for a 3 ball. No good, a little short. I am really surprised by the scoring lull we've seen. That'll be a foul. And I think that shot's going to be waved off. He took flight, but a Cherokee fella got a knee in the face, and hold on here. So Holt will check out. Yikes. Checking into the game is number 23, who is not on our roster. I apologize. Yeah, I see a number 22, Galasso, and a number 34, but we do not see a number 23 on our roster. A nice clean block by Ari Miller. That was a nice block there. You left some space between the offender and the defender, and you don't see a lot of clean blocks like that with a lot of space, especially in teams like these where you're going to play way more guards than you play forwards. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but 3.5 minutes in, that's our first bucket of the quarter. It's 13-11. But that'll happen sometimes. You have crazy scoring runs that are followed by really, really dark lulls where really nobody's getting anything done. From the baseline, Bell misses. McGee, no. That is ripped down by Max Martin, and that'll be a foul on Cherokee. Choi checking into the game, and a couple fellas checking out here for Cherokee, including McGee and Leonard. Into the game is, looks like number 11, Will Carr. Holt is back in. Bell, Galasso, and number 23, who again is not on our roster. We really apologize for that, but from 3, no good. Little long by number 0 for the Scotties, Elijah Dean. Galasso from the paint. They wanted an M1, but the second chance by Bell sinks in. Eric Cassidy will call a timeout, and so will we. 3:40 remaining in the second quarter, 13 all. We'll be right back. .340 remaining in the second quarter here at Cherokee High School at the middle gym, as Eric Cassidy called his first timeout of the half. Quick correction, number 23 is Jordan Henriquez, 6'1", 190-pound senior. Also an athlete of the baseball team, 20 points, 1 board this season. Choi swings it out to the corner. He's got double defense. We've got a scramble, and it's a Cherokee ball. Bell chucks it, and a nice reverse. A nice one off the glass by Will Carr. And we're going to have a foul here, and it will be on Bordentown. Steve Perry not happy with the call, but that will go the other way with Holt inbounding. We've had some aggressive basketball in this first half. Even if the scoring hasn't been all there, I think one of the main things that we've seen so far is that these teams are going to play 110%, even if none of them know each other. You know, these guys aren't rivals. They're 40 minutes away. They haven't played a game in 3 or 4 years, but these guys are still going to play physical basketball. Eric Cassidy's a physical guy. Grew up in Gloucester City, went to Gloucester City High School. He's a physical guy, and he's going to lead his teams to a physical game. And I think, you know, I haven't seen much of Steve Perry at all, but I can see those vibes and those, you know, that kind of playing style from his guys as well. As here comes a wild pass. Choi saves it from a backcourt. A nice chuck up the middle, and an and one. Nice one there to force the extra foul shot from Chase Martin, the 6'3" freshman center, class of 2027. He'll go to the line with a chance to give Bordentown a 1-point lead. This one does not go, and we remain tied 15-all. Didn't know we were commentating tennis tonight. Judd Holt, wide left. Holt got a couple of touches on that one, goes back to Bell. Bell feeds it back to Holt. Henriquez into the corner. Bell. Henriquez, couldn't find a man in the lane. That'll go out of play. We've seen a couple of passes gone awry in this first half, and you know, I think these guys are playing with so much adrenaline up their sleeves that sometimes it gets the best of you, and not much you can do to control that. Just, you know, when you're trying to make wacky passes all over the floor, sometimes they go a little awry, and in a low-scoring defensive gauntlet like this, sometimes you just have to play slow-motion basketball. As here comes a three, like that's not a shot that you really want to make with 2 minutes left in a half. I understand wanting to take three-pointers, but that's a much better shot to make, and that's why they made it. 17-15 Bordentown, thanks to the finger roll from Ari Miller. Holt back to Florence. Back to Leonard. Holt has had control of the ball most of the afternoon. From three, middle of the court. No good. Well, there was a scramble there. A lot of hacky sack with that basketball, but that will be Bordentown ball taken in by Max Martin, the junior. The leading scorer on this Bordentown team, 10-8 this year, an 8-1 record in the BCSL Patriot Division. Their leading scorer by far has been Andrew DaCosta, that senior. 287 points, 112 boards, 25 assists. He's averaged 1 block per game. I think he already has his block tonight, but, look, Andrew DeCosta is as well-rounded of a player as you want on a team like this. As Andrew Choi, Uman Choi, brings it from 3 to make it a 5-point Bordentown game. Holt finds an open lane, no good. Wow, they called a jump ball. Wow, I definitely thought that should have been called a walk there, but checking into the game for the Scotties is number 11. That being Elijah Florence back in the game. Martin checks out. Chase Martin, that is. That's going to be a kickball. 11.2 on the clock in the half. We'll see what Cherokee has time for, down by 5. Off the inbound, Holt brings it up. Leonard looks for a shot. He loses control. Holt from the corner 3, no good. And that will run us out of time at the half. Bordentown, the unexpected underdog here in this Burlington County tournament, the 11 seed going into tonight. They are up 5 on the number 6 Cherokee Chiefs at the half. We'll take a 10-minute break. We'll be right back after this here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Bordentown 20, Cherokee 15 in a low-scoring half. We'll be right back. Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Bordentown leads Cherokee 20-15 at the half here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting from a nicely attended Cherokee Middle Gym here. I mean, this is basically the gym of your average Group 1 or Group 2 school, but because this is Cherokee, because this school has 2,200 kids, this is their B gym. So, I mean, hey, Bordentown has given Cherokee a run for their money in this first half. And maybe things will change as the day goes on. But right now, Eric Cassidy kind of has his back against the wall for his guys. They're missing a lot of shots, and Bordentown has gotten a lot better at their shot selection. And that's what matters, is that Bordentown will basically run your defense dry until they can make a shot that fits best for them. They are not the kind of team that believes that the first possible shot is the best possible shot. Bordentown does not believe in that. Cherokee has kind of been forced to make rushed shots because of the fact that Bordentown has been so good at the press, and they've been really good at defending Cherokee, whether it's at half court, whether it's from the perimeter, whether it's inside. They have been able to do it at all ends of the floor. And that's what we're maybe going to see. Uh-oh. We have a cheese curl on the floor of the court. Don't want to mess up those sneakers. This will be brought in by Choi. Bell goes for a stumble. Now from the corner, Max Martin rolls over. Rebound by Luis Galasso. The leading scorer as a sophomore for this Cherokee squad. He's already almost halfway to 1,000 at 472 points going into tonight. And he is he's a sophomore, class of 26. Dropped 220 points last year in 25 games, and now in 20 games this year, he's already surpassed that at 252 points. He dropped a season-high 24 in an 82-27 win over Cumberland. Nice save by Cherokee to keep that one in, but Bordentown hung on to the possession. Now it is Dan Leonard who has it for the Chiefs. Remember, it took us 3.5 minutes in the second quarter, as we have a foul. It took us 3.5 minutes in the second quarter to get our first basket. This has been a very low-scoring game, and, Cherokee, I wouldn't say that they're not used to that, but they've had a couple of those this year, especially for a Group 4 school. You'd think you guys have a lot of efficient scores, but, look, a lot of their games have been below the 50-point mark. They lost to Shawnee 47-38, Rancocas Valley 49-37, and look, they lost 4 in a row. Eastern, Camden Catholic, Lenape, and Ewing in the Jeff Koenig Classic at RV, as this one's a 3-ball, no good. Picked up by DaCosta, Bordentown's leading scorer in this 2024 season. DaCosta pump fakes, and Bordentown's going to have a second chance, but the ball flies out of his hands, and that'll go out of play. But after losing to RV 49-37 at home, they got revenge on the road with a 52-43 9-point win back on the 30th on Tuesday. And they have 4 games left after tonight. They're at a Holy Cross Prep Showcase tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. versus Triton. And then they're at home for Overbrook and Cherry Hill East, and then they play Eastern to end the regular season, and then they're going to have to wait a good 2 weeks before their first playoff game on the 21st of February. But again, we're running into the same scoring lull that we saw at the beginning of the second quarter, where we've seen a whole 2 minutes go by. 2 minutes and a chunk of change, no points for either side. This is a defensive gauntlet if I've ever seen one, but Bordentown is not pushing the pace in any way. They're making sure that their guys are well rested. As that one looked like it was going to be good, but that does not go. Holt stops the momentum here. Heaves it over from 3, no good. Second chance gets knocked down. Here comes a breakaway. Foul, Cherokee. It's very difficult to make a clean block there without making contact, and Those are the kind of plays where you either just let it go and give up the layup, hope you get a rebound, or you end up sending a guy to a line. Especially with the modern rules and the modern style of play, that's a very hard thing to get out of. As Max Martin, the 6'2" junior combo, goes to the line, misses his first. Again, 5:18 left in the quarter. It's been nearly 3 minutes, still no points from either side. That is not going to be the first as he misses both. But this is going to be one of those games where it's just going to be a matter of who can come out with the energy at the end. Because both of these teams have had their hot streaks. Cherokee started out with a 5-0 run. They had a really nice corner from Judd Holt in the first minute. And, it looked like Cherokee might have had a chance to run away with this thing. That one is short, but again, that's not the best shot to take there. He's trying to make a 3 on the run, but there's no hurry. There's really no hurry here, and they're down by 5, but they've got, a full 12 minutes to make that up. They have to be more concerned about their play on defense than they are on offense. That's a 3 from Yumin Choi, and that is the first three-pointer and the first bucket of the afternoon, of this quarter. And again, 3.5 minutes it took. Shots waved off. Looks like it'll be called for a foul against Choi. It will be against Bordentown, their second foul of the quarter. Goes to Holt on the inbound. Bell on the bounce. Wow. They're saying Cherokee got the last touch there. I didn't have the best angle on it, but, this is what they call the bracketology and the underdog factor in March Madness. Bordentown's the 11 seed, Cherokee's the 6 seed. But what's more likely for an upset? It's not a 9 or an 8. It's usually an 11 or 6 and a 12 versus a 5, sometimes a 13 and a 4. In these kinds of tournaments, really anything can happen. Lenape's probably going to beat Delran. Medford Tech's probably going to beat Doane Academy. That's probably all a given. But now that it's a 10-point game for Bordentown, Eric Cassidy's going to have a lot to talk over with his guys. And that will be something that we will talk about further after the break. 25-15, 3:54 remaining in the third quarter right after this. We'll be right back. Here we are, middle of the third quarter. Let's take a look at what Bordentown is dealing with in the Burlington County Patriot Division. They are one of 2 teams over 500. They've got Burlington Township at 15-4, and then themselves at 10-8, and everybody else is kind of falling off a cliff. I mean, Northern Burlington 3 wins, Doane Academy 5 wins, and Burlington City 2-17 on the campaign. This is a team that is 8-1 in divisional play, but that kind of has to have a little asterisk over it just because of how weak their opponents have been. With the exception of Burlington Township and Pennsauken, which is holding a similar weight to them at 8-10. Again, they're one of 2 teams in the entire 6-team division. That's going to be a 3-point play, or a chance for a 3-point play, as Holt got fouled beyond the arc. So Judd Holt, the number 2 scorer on this Cherokee team, he will try to chip away at that deficit. He will have 3 shots at the line. First one goes. He's got that quick release. Kind of an anti-Dwight Howard, if you will. He'll do the opposite of him. Again, tomorrow we have Woodstown and Gloucester Catholic. That'll be followed up on Tuesday with Audubon and Gloucester and Colonial Conference play. We'll go back to the BCSL on Wednesday with New Egypt and Delran. Haddon Heights and Paulsboro follows on Thursday, Overbrook and Pittman on Friday, and then some girls basketball, Pittman and Collingswood on Saturday. Judd Holt makes all 3 of the first points of the quarter for Cherokee. That makes it 25-18. Choi at half court. A dangerous play, but it goes to LaCosta, and just rolled in and out. Cassidy was complaining about the late call, so I assume that shot was called off because it did go in the basket, but they will give them 2 shots and they will negate the previous basket. Elijah Florence, the senior forward, goes to the line. Actually, hold on. 3 of them are actually going to talk this over because a shot did go in the basket, but I think they're debating on whether to give him the and one or just give him 2 shots, and the call is confirmed. They will give them 2 shots, but it will not be Florence to the line. It will be DaCosta, the senior. DaCosta at 820 points. Probably won't reach 1,000 in his high school career unless Bordentown gets a deep playoff run, but he's had a couple of really nice games this year. 16, 10, and 3 versus Pennsauken back on January 18th. His high this year was 27, 8, and 1 versus Nottingham, a Central Jersey team, later in the month of January. Goes into the corner. Back to Holt. He had 3 shots from the line earlier. He's been the only scorer for Cherokee. Bordentown putting on the pressure. They're not giving him any shot in the paint. And there's a nice roll to get out of it. They got out of the jam. They got out of the jam quicker than Route 70. That one is a nice finger roll there. Right into the basket. That was a shot of faith right there. You don't get those all the time, but they made it work. Choi almost slipped. Now from the baseline, passes it out to beyond the arc. I was going to say you might want to look for Choi here to your right. Might look for something to dump that pass off. In covered from Holt. Now he finds a man open, a little slip, and that will be a turnover. That is 4 fouls in the quarter for Bordentown, and this is where you got to get a little worried, or a little bit careful. Has a little bit of foul trouble for Bordentown's leading scorer, DaCosta. He's already at 3 here late in the 3rd quarter. Rolls it over from mid-range. Bordentown, no, it will be Cherokee who picks up the board, and that goes in for the Chiefs. And wasting no time getting back on offense here in what is now a 4-point, 2-possession game. Choi rolls it out. He might look for DaCosta here, now into the corner. No, he stepped out. Actually, no, excuse me, that is a foul on Cherokee. Thought he stepped out at the baseline, but he did not. Remember, 1 more foul against Bordentown, and that does give Cherokee the bonus. Choi finds Miller. No good. He had the confidence, but it just ended up rolling out. Couldn't let it be. Turnover. It's been turnover mania these last couple of minutes. These guys have really been almost undisciplined on both sides of the ball, and I'm talking about both teams. That will be the 4th foul of the quarter for Cherokee. As checking into the game is number 0, Elijah Dean, the 5'7" senior. 66, 14, and 11 this year. 45 seconds-ish remaining on the clock. It's brought into DaCosta. Holt checking the clock. Again, Bordentown is not in any hurry. They want to defend their lead as best as possible, and with no shot clock, they're going to do their best to make sure that this game continues to be low scoring. 22-26. It's just crazy how low scoring this has been for 2 talented teams. Nice crossover there, goes back. to number 4. That's a nice bank right there from 3 from Ari Miller. Now they're going to get another chance. No! They had a chance for an incredible 6-point swing at the end of the quarter, but instead they lead by 7 after 3. 29-22 at the home stretch. 8 minutes to play in regulation. We'll be right back. As we go into the fourth quarter, let's take a look at what's at stake for Cherokee right now as we take a look at the Olympic American standings as of today. Cherokee is 3rd out of 5. It's Lenape and Eastern at the top, but then it kind of goes down a couple of tiers, and that's where Cherokee stands, is where these guys, they are 12-8, RV is 11-9, and then Cherry Hill East, the only team below 500, is at 8-13. So here comes a 3 from Bell, short. And that is what wins or loses ball games right here. Shot selection. And that was the right shot to take. From Galasso, it makes it a 4-point game, 29-25. Nice one from the baseline, and he's got it. Back to Leonard. He gets shoved from the back. From 3, short. Offensive rebound by McGee. That's a valiant effort right there. He did a heck of a job making sure that they held on to that ball, especially when it matters most. In a 6-point game, you have to make sure that you do not turn over the ball at any juncture. Just like that. Foul, Cherokee. Well, this would be a nice upset for Bordentown. I mean, definitely considering what they've had this year. You know, like we said, 8-1 in their own division. But when 4 of your 6 teams are below 500 in that division, that kind of dilutes things a little bit. That kind of devalues, you know, what you're after. But Cherokee has only played 5 divisional games, and they're 1-4. So what does that say about Cherokee? Well, they have a better record, but they haven't done well in divisional games. But Eastern and Lenape are state championship contenders almost every year. Oh, nice bank one. He makes 1 of 2. Their only loss in BCSL Liberty play for Bordentown was the second game of the season as Bell took a sweet old time waiting for those defenders to come down, but it ends up being a moot point as it's 32-25. Their lone divisional loss was December 15th versus Burlington Township, 57-54. And they've been undefeated and mostly dominant since then. They won by 15 versus Northern Burlington to open up the new year. They beat Burlington City by 15, and that is another 3. A nice one from Ari Miller to break this game wide open. It's a 10-point game. Bordentown's biggest lead has been 10, which for an 11 seed, that'll be a foul on Bordentown. For Cherokee being a 6th seed, this has been a bit of a shock. I'm very surprised. A scramble. Cherokee hangs onto it. Holt, free, gone! Cut that deficit down to 7, 35-28. It's back to a football score. Again, Bordentown knows what they're up against. They know Cherokee is the higher seeded team, but they know that doesn't matter. They are going to try to play a little bit of a slower basketball game so that they give Cherokee less possessions. Less possessions, less opportunities, less chances to score. Oh, so close, but that pass goes out off the hand of number 11. Excuse me, sorry, my phone froze there. That would be Will Carr. Apologies. Just under 5 minutes to play in regulation. 7-point game after Holt cut it down from 3. Back into the corner. The senior Ryan drills it. Back to a 10-point game. Yeah, I think this is kind of a shocker for the home crowd. You know, maybe they're not used to playing on this floor, considering that they're usually in that larger gym. But this would be a big hit to their power points and their chances of getting a home game in South Jersey Group 4. If you're curious right now, in South Jersey Group 4, Cherokee is the 8th seed as of today. And they would play Southern at a home game if the season were to end tonight. Oh, that's a bad pass, and it goes out of play. Cassidy wanted a timeout called, but they did not have sole possession of it, so they weren't able to call it. Right now for South Jersey Group 4, sorry, I was looking at the girls' bracket, but they are still South Jersey Group 4, 8 seed for the boys. Second chance. I think both coaches are confused there. It will be Cherokee possession, and it will be a foul against Bordentown, much to the dismay of Perry. But it will be taken in by Galasso. Back to McGee. Into the corner, to the baseline. You just need simple shots right here. Oh, no! That might be the most gut punch shot that I've ever seen. Took a full 3 seconds before it would come down. Cherokee right now, 407 power points. They are the 8th seed. Here comes a breakaway! Off the glass and gone! We've got a timeout called by Steve Perry. Not happy with his guys, but they are up by 8. Bordentown will need to close it out. We'll keep it here. Let's take a look what is going on with South Jersey Group 4. Again, the top 2 seeds in this bracket are in the same division, Lenape and Eastern. And then who's number 5? Another Olympic American team, the Rancocas Valley Red Devils. 3 and 4 are Central Regional, Manahawkin, and Toms River North. Then it will be Shawnee and Atlantic City. Shawnee, another Olympic team. And then you've got Cherokee at 8, Southern at 9, and Kingsway at 10. So this is going to kind of dilute things a little bit. I mean, Bordentown, where they're at right now, they are classified as Central Jersey Group 2. Now, they are the 9 seed in their bracket. They would play Arthur P. Johnson if the season ended today on the road. So this could really flip things for both teams depending on who wins. If Cherokee loses this game, then they probably will lose their opportunity unless they take down Eastern and maybe win out the rest of the season, which I don't know if I see that happening. Bordentown, if they win, are probably thrust into a home seed spot for Central Jersey Group 2. And if Cherokee loses, they're probably going to lose their home game that they would have had versus Southern. This is a crazy relay we've got going on right now. Bounce pass galore. Air ball. Man, that hurts. I think an air ball like that has been a punctuation mark for this entire game. These guys have played tough basketball, but at the same time, you've had a couple blunders like that where they do not help your case in any way. I'm surprised Bordentown didn't get a foul there. That one is blocked from well beyond the arc. The pass was denied. They've got 2.5 minutes to score 8 points. Crazier things have happened before. They just need to hold down the defense. That will be a foul. They missed the shot, but it looks like they'll go to the line for 2. And they will indeed go to the line for 2. Judd Holt. First shot does not go. But like we said, this game means more than the tournament. Like we said, Bordentown is the 11th seed, but if they win, they probably get put into the 8th seed, and if the season were to end today, they would get a home game in Central Jersey Group 2 in that bracket. But if Cherokee loses, they probably lose their home spot as the 8th seed. These are two teams that are looking to improve their seeding in their respective brackets. Far apart, by all means. As the timeout is called by Bordentown and Steve Perry. We'll take a quick break. 31-38 the score in favor of the visiting Bordentown Scotties. 2:20 to play in the fourth. We'll be right back. Well, no time for an introduction. We've got 2.5 minutes left. Choi heaves it. Cherokee losing by 7. Now they get a steal. Foul and 1! Well, how about that? As a gut punch to Bordentown, Will Carr can make it a 4-point game with 2 minutes and a chunk of change left if he hits this free throw. Yes, 38-34. Again, Bordentown knows the position they're in. This is a very smart team. They're playing slow basketball, but look out, that's going to be a backcourt. That will be a backcourt Cherokee ball. This is shades of GCIT Gloucester from December 30th earlier this year. It will go to Holt. He bobbles it but hangs on a possession. Rolls out to the right. Back to Holt. Blocked! On the attempt by Carr. Now there's 90 seconds left. Bordentown starts and stops. Double traffic. Back to Choi. He gets fouled. That is the second foul for Cherokee. Again, Bordentown is on the edge. They're on the edge. They're one foul away from giving Cherokee a bonus, which again would be a big, big exclamation point for them. 1:15. That's checking back in the game is Ari Miller. Here comes another steal. He gets, oh no! They say it was clean, and now they will intentionally foul. That is a stomach-churning moment for Cherokee, because what you need in that situation, you know, look, the turnovers, it was turnover frenzy a couple of seconds ago, and then Bordentown was able to get out of it. And who had the last touch? Bordentown did. Or excuse me, Cherokee did. It will be Bordentown ball. 55.9 left. If Bordentown wins, they'll improve to 11-8. Cherokee would fall to 12-9 and would drop to the 4th spot in the Olympic American Division. Oh, he got blocked! That one goes! And Bordentown's going to hang on to it! What a frenzy! As now that will be a foul, putting Cherokee on the brink with 4 in the quarter. And I think this all but seals it. With 30 seconds left, you would need a miracle. 31 seconds left. For the rest of the Burlington County tournament, the winner, if I have it correctly, the winner would play the winner of RV and Florence. So Bordentown, again, Monday, February 5th is when RV is playing Florence. And this is going to be interesting. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because if Bordentown or if Cherokee plays RV, then, well, you have the precedent there in that they're 1-1 against them. Beat them at home, beat them on the road, lost at home. And if Cherokee plays, if Bordentown plays RV, there's not much precedent there. But if Bordentown plays a 14-seed Florence, that is a team that they are playing on the 9th in a regularly scheduled regular season game in the BCSL. So you'd have back-to-back games against the same opponent in the same arena up in Bordentown. About a 40-minute drive from here. But how about this for the Scotties and Steve Perry? Comes in 40 minutes away from Marlton. And that'll be a foul to give Bordentown the bonus. The first bonus of the game from either side in any quarter. As Bordentown will try to sink a couple free throws and send Cherokee packing at their home gym. Again, the winner of this game plays RV or Florence, most likely RV as the 3 seed. So either way, it's going to be an uphill battle for Bordentown either way. He misses his first. Bordentown's had a lot of trouble from the 3-throw line, but remember, Bordentown has to be careful. They are also 1 foul away from the bonus. No good. Cherokee gets the rebound. Bordentown gets it back, and that should do it. And he forces his way up. He turned himself into Superman for a second there. I thought we were close to seeing a flagrant, but going to the line will be Max Martin after his partner in crime went 0 for 2. They'll go 0 for 3. I mean, I don't think it matters much, but I mean, at this point, you just want to have some more security and more confidence when you're up by 6 with 20 seconds. But if you chuck it down the floor, he makes it. You make 2 threes, this game is not over, but it's about 1 step away from being over. Just like that. So how about this for Bordentown? The start time of this game was 4 o'clock. Bordentown showed up at 3:50. They warmed up for 10 minutes. And they came in, and in a 7-point victory, they run Cherokee out of the gym 41-34. And an upset in the Burlington County Tournament as the 11 seed Bordentown Scotties advance to the next round. Again, Monday will be RV and Florence to decide who they will play in round number 2. If they play RV, again, we don't have many records on those games, but if they end up playing Florence, again, they play them on the 9th. They play them on Thursday. So this really is a surprising loss for Cherokee. It is a big hit to their power points, and it will probably force them out of the top 8 in South Jersey Group 4. And they might have their first playoff game on the road instead of at their home gym. That'll be all for us tonight here on DWB. Final score, Bordentown 41 is the 11 seed, Cherokee 34. Our next broadcast will be Saturday, February 3rd at 11:30 a.m. with the Woodstown Wolverines and the Gloucester Catholic Rams. From everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our social media coordinator, Anthony DePalma, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Liam Nolan, my wonderful producer, Vincent Folkt, I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you tomorrow morning, Woodstown and Gloucester Catholic, but until next time, Bordentown upsets Cherokee at home. We'll be right back. We are done. We'll see you Saturday. Have a good one, folks.